I didn't decide to have divorce. He just disappeared.
Oh.
It was supposed to be two-person, but it's not there. So I'm not only one doing everything. So I didn't think about that until somebody reminded me. Where's the other one? The avoid situation. We are not ready. What are you afraid of? What is best for my kids? I didn't care about what people say.
Hi, welcome to Changing Suits. My name's Bal.
And my name's Taj.
On this week's episode, we have been honoured by the presence of Kanwal Suleman. Now, Kanwal is a lawyer and elected councillor in Norway. The reason we've got her on is to show the world as to, yes, we as South Asian women can go through a lot, and that's obviously what we'll be discussing today. But that doesn't stop us from being as successful as Kanwal's about to tell us about her life. You've been through quite a hard time in regards to being divorced and a single parent. Kanwal, can you tell us what your roles are in regards to being a lawyer and an elected councillor in Norway? What does that mean?
Hi, thank you for having me over here. I have been a single mom in almost now 13 years. I had two daughters. One is 12 years and one is 11. There was actually 2 in 1 year when I got okay, then I have been 30 years, but a long time. It feels like a long time ago. It was a hard time because there was a small, and I was full-time committed to my job. I love my profession. I love working with people. So being a lawyer, it's for me, it's not going to work and doing what I'm told to and get my salary. It's actually meeting people, helping them, solving their issue somehow, trying to make them look positive at a thing. I always say there is not any, you don't look at thing as a problem, look them as a challenge, and there is always solution to a challenge, even if it's like choosing with between pest and cholera. You have a choice, you always have a choice. So my job is to basically try to make them see the choices they have and let them make their choices.
So what kind of lawyer are you?
For the last almost 13 years, I have been working with the law, work enforcement law.
Just to let the listeners know, Taj and yourself know each other back from Norway in the good old days. So this is the first time you're seeing each other since Taj was in Norway.
It's been about 5 years, I think. No, longer than that we've, because your daughter left before we moved back. So it might be 6-7 years ago.
7 years, yeah.
But I wanted Kanwal on because I think you're an amazing woman, a strong, powerful woman. And the fact that you are a single parent, when I found out, I was like, oh my God, this woman is amazing and doing amazing things. So we had to have you on, and we wanted to talk about your journey.
Yeah.
So I think it's important.
Actually, when we met when our kid was in the kindergarten, not many people knew that I was a single parent.
Oh, okay.
I forgot that also sometime, because when they asked, where's your dad? I was, oh my God.
He's not here.
Because I was doing everything myself. And people was like, how do you manage to have time for the workout, for the job, for the extra activity? And I was like, okay, is that not normal?
No, because you do everything, because you look amazing and you do all your exercise. And I'm like, how does she fit it all in?
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, yeah, it was supposed to be two-person, but it's not there. So I'm not only one, doing everything. So I didn't think about that until somebody reminded me, where's the other one?
Which is amazing.
But the fact that you've just said, is that not normal? It's like, no, that's not normal. We find excuses as to why we can't exercise and why we can't be a successful lawyer, because we're busy with the kids. But that's actually not the case, is it?
Actually, when I got the number one, and then I when the weight was like going to all the way to heaven, almost, then I was like, no, okay, I had to do something. And my doctor told me when I got baby number 2 that if you want to live, if you want to see your kids getting older and be with them and be active, then you have to do something with your weight. So I started working out, and I also had those excuses: tomorrow, not today, I don't have time. But this doing exercise is like my private time. It's my quality time, because then I can just focus on myself. So it gives me so much energy back. Sometime almost, I think the most people that knows me, they ask me, do you have Duracell battery in
I
you?
know, because you're very inspiring. Should we go backwards actually
Yeah.
and start from the beginning of
Yeah.
when you had your daughters?
Yeah.
The divorce happened. How did the community react to this? Because you had two small daughters as well. Was that a big issue as well? Because in our community, having girls is an issue anyway. And then you're divorced. Wasn't it such a big issue for you? Because I know you got a really supportive family.
I got the best parents. My parents are like my best friends. It's like sometimes we forget that those are parents and not our friends. They support us. My dad is actually, he's so loving person. He's so emotional, sometimes too much. So he always told me, even you are a woman, don't think that you are weak. There are many women that career, they made good positions, they raised the kids in a good way, so don't see this as a weakness. So he had been supporting all the time, and my parents even told me, I remember my kids were so small, it was before they started in kindergarten or school, also international. They told me that give us your kids and live your life. That made me so angry, because I was like,
Oh,
no,
why?
because it
Why?
was
Why
like
did that
they
make you
was
angry?
actually not mean telling me this to offend me, and not telling me
Love.
because I was a good mom. They saw that how much time I'd used with the kids, because there was so much attached to me. Even if I went to the bathroom, it was like, mom, where are you? Oh my god, it's no way out
No,
here.
you don't when you've
We,
got little kids.
we all know what that means because we all lock the door when we go to the toilet. And we don't even need to go to the toilet. We just want a bit of time out. We know.
Walking in the mall, just walking between the looking at things, it was like, okay, IKEA, it's happiness, it's paradise, because you have spare time. But there was my mom and dad was like, okay, you're using all your time, even either you're out of work or you are with something activity with the kid. And I was dragging the kids with me everywhere. And it wasn't that I wasn't social. I was social and I was everywhere, but my kid was always with me. So I told my friends, my network, if it's not possible to bring the kids, sorry, I cannot. They was 5, 6 years. My oldest one, when I first got a babysitter, and it was heartbreaking, because it was like, okay, mom, are you coming back or not? Are you gonna leave us? So when my parents told me, give us the kids and live your life, you are young, uh, go and do whatever you want and get married. And I was, no, I'm not so selfish, because this is a part of me. I chose to have those kids. Those kids didn't choose to come to the world. They
So
didn't choose.
why did Campbell? Why were you then angry at your parents saying? Because they, like Taj said, they said it out of love. But what made you angry in the fact that they've said that?
Because I was like, why don't you think I'm not good enough to be a mom? Why should I go with my life? Because even though I'm very outgoing, liberal, but my thoughts, my about the family is very traditional. So I was like, getting married, I was something I was looking forward to. But I didn't want to get married until I had my education, my career, and everything. So everyone around me and my family, and I was like, when are you going to get married? Your younger sister is getting married. People will start talking. Is there something wrong with the oldest one? Why is
Because we
she?
do have that in the community. If the younger one gets married, it's like, what happened? Why did they hop one? And
Yeah.
the younger
There
one
was
got
so
married.
much
Yeah.
pressure. Come on, come on. I was like, no, I don't want to. And my mom and dad was at last, please just bring someone. Just bring anyone. And they were hoping it would be a Pakistani, of course, there, or else.
Anyone with a pulse.
Yeah. And they was like, just pick, because, and my mom, and I told my mom once, Mom, I had a nice dream about I was sitting on a motorbike and it was so nice. And she was, can you not dream about boys? I was like, tell me that. But so I was thinking that my parents will choose one,
Yeah.
So I will get one married to one my parents will choose. I want to arrange marriage, and but I will not import, as we say, from our country. I might find somebody who's like me here, but I want my parents to choose that person, and I will say yes or no.
Yeah.
So and I was saying no all the time, and then
No,
Did they get sick of
no.
you?
they
Yeah,
got really. I was like, oh my god, what is wrong with you? And
So what was wrong with all the ones that you didn't choose then? Why didn't they match
you
your
know,
list or your
I think with
criteria?
the heart. I'm in my work also, and because I feel like the soul is in the heart, and then you have to balance with the brain. You have to think with the heart and balance with the logic. So it was like my heart says no, nah, nah.
no, no,
No,
no.
I would have been like, forget it, go on and do it
you
yourself.
are a psychic person, yet you know what the future is. I was like, no, but it doesn't say yes to my heart. And my mom and dad was like, she will never get married. So I was around 29 when I got married. I was out of date. I was like old.
But
You
this is true.
Off the shelf, yeah,
This
on
is
the shelf.
actually
Yeah.
what they say, isn't it? Like, I mean, people are getting older now when they get married, but very much like in our generation, if you went past what 26, 27, because even I was 27, and people didn't consider that as old as well. So that's what happens in the South Asian community. It's obviously changing now.
Yeah. But same time, I feel like that younger and younger people are getting married. We think is positive change in our South Asian country community is that now the age isn't essential for that person who is not getting
Yeah.
finding the right person to get married. But it's not like, oh, you have to get married because you are 29 or you're 20. So they choose.
So, Campbell, what happened? Because obviously the marriage didn't work out.
No, it didn't because I we was two different person. It's because tell people that it doesn't matter what issue I had with my ex husband or he with me. Maybe he was perfect in his way and I was perfect in my ways, but it's like two different clothes.
But that's such a positive way of looking at it, because usually you talk to someone and they're like, oh, they were like this, like that. But you sound so positive. Okay, it didn't work out. It didn't work out.
Okay, I have to admit I haven't been so positive all the way.
Oh,
Fair enough.
All his fault. It was only him. No, but I think that is a private issue because it's like maybe I see it's like a number six. If you stand on the downside, you see a six. If you stand on the opposite side, you see a nine. It's just
Oh,
we
I
have
like that.
I like that. I'm
yeah,
going to use that.
this is how the life is. Then no, same as color. If you ask somebody which color is this car,
Yeah.
maybe for me it's blue, for somebody is purple. So I think what happened, okay, forget it, but it's like me and him was two different clothes. We didn't match. You don't match with all the clothes, even it's a good color, both of them. One way I feel like, oh my god, I have the choice, he have the choice to live together or not. So but the kids, they had the rights, they had the right that they should have two parents, both of them, in the same house. So that's the best scenario. But then you have to consider that, okay, I because I thought sometime it was a time when I thought that not because of what would people say, what is best for my kids, I didn't care about what people say.
Wow, I like that.
Yeah, because I remember it was in the beginning, people was like, what's going on, what's going on with this family, with their daughters. And I went to a gathering, I remember so good. My kids was very small, and I think she was the youngest one and a half, and the other one was two and a half. And some ladies started talking like I wasn't in the room. And it was like, oh, poor girl. Oh, he's so it's like his loss. But why did he do that? And why didn't they go along? What could be different? And I was like, okay, I'm still in the room. I
So
don't
they did that in front of you.
in front of me, beside me. It was like meter distance with me, and it
Yeah.
was a small group sitting in the having a gathering. And I was like, okay, this is hard for me. what happened. I don't know what happened. I don't have all the answers. He doesn't have an answer. I don't want to know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what I want. This is a new situation because you're newborn parents. Everything is new. You haven't been
So
through that.
Campbell, how old was your little one at this point when you did decide to have a divorce then?
Actually, the thing is that I can tell. I didn't decide to have divorce. He just disappeared.
Oh,
Oh.
And
Oh, okay.
okay, now I can laugh about it.
yeah. At the time, you
You,
wouldn't
you
have.
shocked us both. We were like, oh, okay. Okay.
I remember that one day I went to kindergarten and the one lady, she asked me, "Where's the father? I didn't see the father." I said, I told her that she was from South Asian community, and I told her that he left us, and she said, "Oh my God, I will pray for him." And I
For
told her,
him.
For
yeah,
him?
and
Why for him?
I because she told that he left.
Oh.
I said, no, 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 no. He left this way, not this way.
I like that.
And she was like, and you are laughing. I said, what can I do? I cannot do anything. So this was then I found out this is the best thing to do with my situation, just to shut everyone's mouth. I will laugh about my situation. So
Because it makes the other person feel uneasy as well, because you're like, why is she laughing? Yeah, so it throws someone off guard as well, doesn't it?
And so when people ask me, okay, what he's thinking, do you think he will come back? Because we have a 1 year of separation before we get divorced here in Norway. And I was like, and it was, how is he? I said, I don't know. Do you know how he is? And they said, no, why should we? And I said, why should I know how is he?
Yeah.
Why
Oh, I like this. You're throwing it back at
I
them.
just smiling and so I got attitude. So when I told people that all the aunties, uncle didn't say anything, I got very like I answered. I was not the person that was okay. She's older than me. She's asking. She's telling, like the ladies who was talking about me with me in the room, but not to me.
Hmm.
Now I changed. I was like, "What's going on with your daughter?" So
Oh, I like this.
yeah, and there was like,
Great. A whole different
like
way of handling things.
yeah. So I used the sarcasm, and I was like something. I changed the issue to something about them, and was like, okay, tell me now, how's your son going? How does he have still that girlfriend, or what about the daughter? I saw him, and it was like, oh my God, don't tell
Yeah,
me.
the fact that we done this reaction,
Yeah,
but that's
Yeah.
not a good way to handle it, because it's like,
yeah,
well,
I
you're
was
talking
like,
about my personal life. Let's talk about your personal life.
yeah. And I think that they're all the aunties of a few one, because when I told one of them, they will tell the other ones.
Obviously,
But
everyone knows, the whole world
yeah,
will know.
because this girl, she's rude. She is answering back, and she's kind of bitchy, if we can say so.
Yeah.
So then they won't go and ask me. They will ask, not talk about me. I remember I had my youngest one when he left. Actually, when I'm telling he left because he was from my home country, and after he got his visa, he left. So we concluded
Literally
that
the day after.
yeah, day after he was like, I went back to job. I had the second kid. I was done with the permission and my leave, parent leave. I was going back to the job, and we was going to sell our house and buy a new house together, because that house was mine, and just to make him feel like more man, because then everything is nice.
Love it.
Okay, that sounded wrong.
No, it's fine. We love it. Carry on.
Learning so much this
The
morning.
issue because you cannot, as a South Asian woman, you have to be careful. I think as a woman, I don't think it has
Do
something
you
to do with
think?
pleasure.
Do you think he felt intimidated because you are a very strong lady? Do you think he felt intimidated by you because you've got this amazing job and you're a very confident person?
And the same with the undies as well, exactly the same. You've come across, you've just, in the space of like 2 sentences, you've said, yeah, I asked the undies, how is your son and daughter? And then you've said, oh, I needed the man to feel more manly, so I bought a house with him, just because you seem to really know yourself. That's what's coming. Look, this is the first time I've met you, and I'm like, that's such an interesting way
Yeah,
I
to
think
deal
it's
with it.
brilliant
yeah,
information and
because what I did at the beginning, because even though I think he was highly educated and everything, I was like, okay, he doesn't have work. He's from that place. He doesn't. Maybe because having a strong woman, it's not so easy to handle. So I gave my credit card. I was like, can we buy that? Can we buy that? It was like, it was my money. It was my card. But so he will feel like he was doing the shopping. So
so
I
you
did
even
that.
gave him, here you go, this is my money, but you tell me how we can spend it.
Yeah, I was like, okay,
What more could you do for this person? Wow.
yeah, it was like, because he would feel like, okay, because I was like, it's not his, he doesn't have the choice yet to have a worker. He have to learn the language. So let me help him build his self confidence, because I understood that could be a problem. And then the next problem was like, okay, you have a good economy, you have house, you have car and everything. I was like, okay, here, take the car key, but you don't have the driving license. What do we do? I was like,
You're handing him everything to make him feel more
everything.
manly.
What I learned from all these years is that whatever you are, strong, you are sensitive, whatever you are, be yourself. Be yourself and don't change to make other comfortable, even if you are lifting someone up. Because what happens, I think it's in the human race, doesn't matter which race, which community you are from, is that when somebody lifts you up, the our ego is, we have to balance that. If somebody lifts us maybe one person more than we are ready to be lifted up, not that we deserve that, but ready to lift that, very easily get arrogant. So we
Mm.
can, I say that shoulder is lifting up, you can start pressing that down. Instead of, okay, looking at this as help, you are trying to push that person down.
So, okay, this is really interesting because as a South Asian woman, you know that I mean, it just comes across even from now. You know that you're bloody good. Like that's it. There's no I'm an aloma. You come across fantastically. You're like, I'm a single mother. I didn't even remember that there was supposed to be a dad because you said earlier, oh, this isn't normal. No, it's not. It's fantastic. I
I
love
was
it.
gonna say, when I met you, I think it was like a parent's introduction or whatever, but just your presence is so confident. I don't even think I questioned it, where the husband was. I think we met and then you discussed it and it just came up in conversation. But the way you put yourself forward is just really confident, and you're a very nice person overall.
Can I just ask, where does that come from? Because that confidence is natural. It's not a case of you're just bullshit. I don't know if you know what that means, but you're not just pretending.
I'm always myself, and maybe I'd get a little bit, and people, my sisters tell me, "Oh, you are too direct." But that's I am. I'm always the person. How I talk, how I am with people is always me myself. But I think as a little girl, when I grew up, I think my sister will actually describe me as a nerd. They're telling on about my mom. I went straight from home to school from home, but they wasn't there because they went to a party. I was that person.
You just
So
said it. You said it how it was.
yeah, because I knew that it was 10 minutes from school to home and I have to go this way, but they were going the other way because they went with their friends. And they was like, why do you have to be like so
Telltale.
good girl? And because I was like, I'm like a soul. I have been always like a soldier. You get a mission, you're loyal, and you have to do that and be like impress, not just to impress, but when somebody give you a mission or responsibility, a task, or rely on you, that is a big thing. Already, that is a big thing. And then, in order to show that, okay, thank you, your kindness, or your thankfulness, and that you was worth that, you have to do extra. So I don't know why I have this mentality. I think because of
But
my
I
mom.
love that.
Yeah.
Do you know it's interesting because we've had over the last few weeks, I've had a few people say, the fact that you're doing podcasts and you're talking about the things that you are on the podcast, that's not very common in the South Asian community. And I look back and exactly what you've just said. I mean, with myself, I did what I was supposed to do. I did it how I think was what was the right way, which is why I don't have a problem in saying what I need to say on the podcast, because I don't think I did anything wrong anyway. So it's very similar I 100% agree with what you've said. You say it how it is,
Yeah.
because what's wrong with that?
Yeah,
I
but at
love
the
that.
same time, I try to balance that, because even though I know, okay, I don't like this, I don't like this about our culture, I think should be different, I have to show respect for who those think of different.
Yeah.
I always say that we have to agree that we can disagree.
Yeah.
When I start a conversation, and this is from something I learned from when I started study. I started with philosophy, and I love the philosopher who told that, okay, I have a thought of how thing is, and my opinion. When I talk with you, I shouldn't think that I have to convince you to think the same, agree as me. I have an opinion, and I have to listen, and then I have to either throw away my opinion, or I have to find, when I'm listening to you, you can convince me to that is wrong or right. So that is, and then you adjust. So nobody is like a square. I'm like, people ask me, how are you, who are you, and I don't know, I'm everything.
We're adapting as people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you think it
Uh,
helped that, like you said, you don't care about what the community said
hmm.
because you were doing the right thing, and that's helped you just on this mission that you're saying, like a
Was
soldier to
like, I
achieve
got
what
my
you.
parents' support. That was very important. My parents was that okay, you try to do your best. Didn't work out.
Okay, I've got another question. So you went through this divorce. You've got 2 young kids.
Hmm.
Did that knock your confidence?
What I tell my friends who doesn't have kids or are divorced or not married, I tell them I love my kids. Those mean everything to me. But if I could choose to not have kids with a person I will not live with, my life would be different in a positive way. I have learned a lot. This is my strength. I have my daughters are my friends. They are my everything. I cannot think about anything. I will never give them up to, like, if I find my love of life. No, these are my first priority. But still, it was like having two, not one. And everything changed because, and I remember I cried. I cried all the time with my dad, and I said, "I'm tired." And I could say to him, I'm tired. It was like once a year or two times a year, I went to my dad and I was like, I'm tired. I don't have anyone, because I looked at them. I was like, okay, what if something happens to me? Who will take care of them? And my parents said, we are here. Yeah, but everyone, I know that my sister, my brothers, I have so good friends. Like, they're friends like family. They've been there. I always said, but everyone goes to their home. I want somebody to, like, be. I could clone myself and, okay, take care of my kids. That's like my heart out of my body. So yeah, it did something, but still, I turned that around. Whenever I feel weak, whenever meet a struggle, a challenge, those are my strength. So whenever it's like a hard challenge, a prize, it's gonna be everything from financial to job to health wise, or something in my private life. Look at my daughter and I feel like, and then I picture them in front of me, and nothing can break me. I told my family that it's like you are standing in front of a mountain, and it's like you there is no way around at all, but you have to pass that mountain. What do? Do you feel helpless? But I didn't feel that. When I picture my daughters, it's like I'm positive. This gonna be work out. I know there's always a solution. What happened? You still have the mountain there. You still have the same bills. You still
It's
have
the
the.
mindset. It's the
Yes,
mindset that's
the
changed.
mindset. And it's everything feels so easy. What I also did, and I will not recommend others to do that, when you do that for a long time and don't work with whatever the struggle is, you're pushing that under the carpet. So that life is like, I see life is like you wearing a backpack. So you're filling up everyone with every experience, every struggle, everything. You have to sort out them out on the way. I feel that many with us, with the in the South Asian community. Our backpack, in our generation, we are second generation here in Norway. We have a lot of mess in that backpack because we don't talk about feelings. Now we are more aware about our feelings than telling that, okay, I feel sad, I feel depressed. Okay, depressed is now maybe a cool thing to have. But starting by that is not, that's hurt my feelings. Using the word, because it's talking with kids, they have feelings. They can also be hurt. We cannot just tell them. We have to ask, how do you feel today? Do you feel sad? It's okay
But
to feel.
Canva, how long did it take you to then sort out your backpack after you got divorced? Because obviously you've said yourself, look, although you came on here and said, oh yeah, look, we were two different people, but we were both perfect in our own ways. You said yourself that you did feel angry. How long did, and you started to answer the aunties back. How long did it
Uh,
take before you started sorting that backpack
Yeah,
out?
it was the beginning of the year. I remember when it all happened suddenly. So I was sitting there. One didn't have a kindergarten space at all. So, and my parents wasn't here. They was in the back in Pakistan. So I was like, okay, how can I manage this? How can I manage working, one kid in the kindergarten, one other? I was lucky. I think somehow things sorted out. I got the space for the other one also. So I didn't have time to think about what I did. I fulfilled my no, filled my day with activities all the way. So I was like,
Do you think you still do that? Because you have a full on timetable. Do you think you make yourself so busy that you don't have time to think about what's going on?
sometimes. So when I'm very active, then I realize that, okay, I'm running away from something. So when I'm working too much, so the first 5, 6, 7 years, I was working from his left. It was 2000. I got separated in 2013, beginning of that, and until 2018, it was like 6 5 6 years. I was working 50 to 60 hours per week. And beside that, I was a soccer trainer for my kid. I was working hard and everything. I don't know how I managed, because, but I think when I reflect, what I did was, until I will fall asleep, so I didn't have to think about anything. And I feel like I didn't have to sleep more than 3 4 hours. And people was like,
Mm.
okay, normally in the night you sleep. What do you do? I wash the clothes. Maybe I have to bake, and I love I start baking. Actually,
I know because I've seen your. We came to your daughter's birthday party, and the cakes you make are amazing.
yeah,
I was
I
like,
love to
wow,
do that.
you're
I
good
love
at
to.
everything. You're this perfect person.
I now, actually, if you ask me, the kids ask me, "Mommy, ma'am, can you make a cake?" Okay, just buy the thing that you mix
You're,
with water and put it in the oven. Oh no, we just go and buy in the shop.
that's because you've got so much you're doing, so you
Yeah,
have to let
now
go of
now
something.
I have sorted out, because now I sorted out. So I don't. I sorted out that I try to. I have a very big network, so I try to meet those people, so I can have more quality time with few people than meeting everyone. And I'm very blessed that I have actually people who cares about me. So when I get sick or something, it's like flowers coming at everyone, because. So but now I got again, when I start in the politics beside job. So I know that I might.
Val loves politics, so you've got her heart as soon as you say politics.
Yeah.
I just want to just bring up something you've said that I found interesting. At that point, when you started to sort out your backpack, because I love that whole vision that you've
Yes, a very
just
good
said,
concept. Mm.
you basically condensed down a lot of what you were doing. So you were running around like crazy before, but you actually said to a lot of friends that perhaps I can't spend that quality time, but you chose those people that you really thought were invested in you, and therefore you invested in them. And same thing about the baking. You've just said, I don't bake anymore. I say go and get it from the shop instead now, because now you've sort of sorted what stuff's important to you.
Actually, when you are telling me, again, summing up like this, I'm thinking, when I baked, they asked me, why do you, how do you cook? I loved cooking. I did the creative. I
Mm.
like cooking for two-person. That was no fun. I like to cook several dishes, like 4 5 6 dishes for 20 30 person, with no problem. And it did happen in very short time, so I was very effective. So when I see that I don't have the interest now and the same, is because I was doing that to run for something. I'm not running for that kind of stress anymore. And now my kids are
Interesting.
older also, so they manage things by themselves.
And then that gives you more time to now, going on to the next part, get into politics, because it's not just a side job, is it? It's actually quite intense.
Yeah, it will be. And but I think this is something I will do because it's not as a position. It's because this is local, so it will affect my kids' future, my parents when they are now older, my health. It's like when I'm investing or giving back to the community, it's actually something that is coming back to me and my people and everyone. So I always believe that when I start also with the law, I was like, okay, I have to be part of something, not just outsider. So this is me buying part. I get something from the community, I give something back. I will mention one more thing before I forget that. What something that helped me that I suggest everyone in this hard period was going to a shrink, a psychologist,
Mm.
because that is also a issue. Because when I started to go to a psychologist just to get help, they was like, oh my god, are you mental? Because we don't seek that kind of help. So that also helped me. And then people ask me, okay, what did psychologists help me with you? Because do they tell you what to do? No, they don't tell me. But when I talk with a friend, and that also helped me, I talk very openly. So when I talk openly, then I about my issues, then I decide what I want to tell and what I don't want to talk about. And what I don't talk about, then I'm very clear. You don't ask me about that. And but when I talk with my friends, I'm talking. I'm just pouring out.
Yeah.
I talk with a psychologist, a person like that, then I I'm listening to what I'm saying. So in that conversation, I've several times I've been aware of, oh my god, oh I had to see like this. So looking at me from outside, and this, and then I'm very awareness. I have very much awareness what I do, how I think when I do that. Sometimes I just do things.
Yeah.
So that helped me a lot. Uh, but
Campbell,
it's
as
been a hard journey when several times it was like, this is unfair. Because all I wanted, I told my, and as when I get some clients that I ask them, it's a divorce case, and I ask them, is there no possibility? What is the issue? Can you get back together? It's because I tell them, I love my career. I love my job. I can do that's life. That's life for me. I love my kids and everything. But I can give up anything I have, from financial to career, everything, just to have the complete family. A complete family with my partner on my side. Or not a partner who will like um, I don't need a partner to for the financial that I have, but I do it by myself.
For
I
your
know
companionship, you need someone just to be
companionship.
with someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I'm lucky. I have good friends that give me that companion, but still,
But every relationship's different, isn't it?
it's different. So
Friendship's in
bad.
its place, and having a partner is
Yeah,
different in its place.
yeah.
Campbell, as we're coming to the end of this podcast, I mean, I think throughout this whole thing, you've given us your personal story, and then you've slipped in something that's made us think, oh, actually, that's a really interesting way of looking at it. Just to sum up for this episode, if we had to limit those three things, if someone is going through a divorce and they're finding it hard, what are the three things that you recommend they do to really pick themselves up and see things in a more positive way?
Get rest.
Yeah, no, simple thing, but an
That is
important thing.
so important. I wasn't used to do that before so much. It was like sometime. And my dad told me, your mom put on lipstick before she goes to bed. It's something my mom does, something my sister does, and something her daughter does, and something, and she loves to do that. And it's not like a dull lipstick. She put on red lipstick. She loves to do that. And he said that, and he went to me with me shopping bags. My bag, the parents do that. They help me. Okay, shoes. You need some new shoes. You need a new coat. So that getting dressed up not to show anyone, but it was like you feel good. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, you have good health, you have two arms, you have work, you have kids, you have a house, you pay your bills. Why should I complain? Okay, it's not my loss that is another person his loss. There is much more to live for. So I'm thinking, focus on yourself, do something that you like training, try new thing. I tried yoga, it's lovely. Just try. I love to talk with people. So I just talk with stranger also. Just walking on the street, bus stop, and I don't know, suddenly I like to talk. So that's the one thing. That's the other one is that talk. Don't get quiet. Go out. Face it. I have seen people that when they are in this kind of situation or other, they go down to the basement. They avoid people. They avoid situation. We are not ready. Okay, when will you be ready? What are you afraid of? What will people say? Those people will not pay your bills. Those
Yeah.
people will not help you out. Those will always be there. As soon as you stand in front of them, as soon will you make your path. You will clear out who's yours, who's not. Who should you be use energy? Why waste an energy? What she will think, what they will think. No,
Yeah.
it's like wearing a dress. Oh, this doesn't look nice. You think so, you will feel like everyone thinks that this doesn't look nice. But if you feel like I'm pretty, I feel nice, that is nice. But be humble, humble. Also, of course, it sounds like okay. The third thing, seek professional help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Help. I will suggest that putting, I think, mental health, putting that we have to be more aware of our feeling. And then you have to reach bottom. Every time I meet a strong challenge, I feel like if I don't go all the way to a button, I will not race. In order to do that, maybe you need some professional help. Maybe you have some friends that who can, but avoid those people that who's negative. But that doesn't don't avoid them all the time because they will come up as ghosts. So sometimes you have to face them and face them with a joke. Okay, they ask you something, ask the same question back. So they ask you,
Perfect.
what happened with your marriage? Okay, what's going on with your marriage? I
Brilliant.
saw people was walking down the street with another. You can, and they will just be like, "Okay, my God, we don't have to talk
When
about."
we done it, we were like, oh my God. But
I love
brilliant.
that.
Yeah, brilliant.
Thank you so much for your time, Campbell. I mean, I think genuinely throughout this whole podcast, you've thrown in these little diamonds. I mean, like with the end. But thank you for sharing your experiences and how you have got through it and are still getting through it because you
Yeah,
are.
and it sounds like that. Okay, my God, she's so strong. She's nothing. I'm weak. I am weak, and I have to be more. I have to tell myself more times that it's okay to be weak, because that will drain. It drains me from energy because then I can meet the wall. So in order to not to meet the wall, it's okay to be weak. It's okay to have a bad day. There's but as my dad said, the person who doesn't try to stand up and walk, he will never reach the goal. Because or else you will be just standing there. So if you get hit, okay, it doesn't happen. You have the other leg. Walk on the other leg.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect.
Uh,
Thank you so much for your time, Campbell. Absolutely fantastic. And I hope the listeners really, anyone that is going through this, please do listen to this because I think you're an absolute inspiration.
Oh, thank you. Have a nice day, ladies. You
Thank
guys
you very
are doing
much.
an amazing job.
Thank you very much. That's
Okay.
goodbye from
Bye.
me.
And goodbye from me.
Bye.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook, changing_suits, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.